Hello, welcome to another episode of Beyond the First Chapter uh, with the lifelong pals, Olivia, Jolonda, and Carmen. As you can see right now, it's just Olivia and Jolonda, and hopefully Carmen will join us soon. So today we are going to be discussing the highs and lows of being a creative. So what that means, and if you see me looking off to the side, I'm looking at my notes. So the highs and lows of being a creative, how we started businesses, because it wasn't just one, businesses, how it is to maintain and run those businesses, and what else did we say? Oh, and how and how we ignite our fire passions in order to keep those businesses operating, and not just businesses, also organizations. I was thinking about it last night and this morning. The three of us are pretty multifaceted. Like we've done a lot of stuff, and I don't think any of us really realize how much we've done um, because I know I was in survival mode for years, and I just went because I had no choice. Um, But now that I can sit and reflect, I'm realizing, oh, girl, you've done a lot of stuff. And so I spoke to Olivia about it, and she's done a lot of stuff. And then we
hmm
talked to Carmen, and it's like, oh, yeah, I did do that. Oh, yeah, I did create that. So I thought it would be cool to talk about that because we've shared so much about family. I don't think we have much more to say about family. But let's start focusing on us again. So, with that being said, Olivia, what's new? What's up? What's old?
Nothing much. This week we had school testing, which was interesting.
Always.
Very stressful for the children because they have to literally sit and read and do all these things. And uh, it's very stressful. We have one more day on Monday, which is really good. Um, and then what else? I went to work out, of course, do that. Saturday there was a challenge that kicked my butt, but I rose to the occasion. And I was able to see my friend for a couple of hours because her mom gave her a reprieve.
Mm.
So I was able to see her for a couple of hours and we drank our Starbucks, had some food, and did our favorite thing, which is Marshalls slash TJ Maxx.
Yeah, next time we got to hit both stores because we only got one, and that Marshalls was very underwhelming. I was
Yeah,
not impressed. Not impressed.
yeah.
But that's okay.
Especially in the area we were, I thought we'd
Yeah,
find more stuff.
I was sadly disappointed. I wanted to spend some money, and I couldn't really spend
Yeah,
the money. So,
me too.
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad. Pretty
What
much
did you do this week?
your recap is my recap. I took care of my mom, and I saw you yesterday. That I'm like, I am living in Groundhog's Day. Every day is the same. Um, as we discussed, I force myself now when I wake up to put on the outfit to get dressed to try and I'm always playing with this camera to try to get my mind out of Groundhog's Day so that I can keep moving forward. I think we just got a text. Oh, no, we didn't. I thought that was Carmen. Um, to keep my mind moving and not get stagnant because, when you have a schedule and you're off your schedule, it's you get mired down. So I had something else to say. Maybe it'll come back. Oh, I
So
know.
you talked about,
I know. I was at CVS picking up prescriptions. And we've been discussing me doing drop-in Pilates since I can't go to Pilates. They had like an in-home Pilates bar with the leg straps. course, you're using your own body weight, so I guess you just hold the bar. I haven't opened it yet, but I got that. So maybe I
Oh,
can do
that's
some.
good.
So I can do something at home because I don't know when I'm be able to get to class, and my back is messed up right now, and I'm not stretching too much. This is not everybody's business, and nor do they care. But I did buy that. So let's get to it. So
All
here we go.
right.
Here's the topic: the highs and lows of being creatives. So, first question, Olivia.
What's
What?
the first question?
I don't know. I didn't write them. I came up with the topic, guys, and Olivia did the questions. So we try to share the load around here.
Sorry, Nine wants to be part of the video today.
I see cat booty. We always had cat booty on our conference calls. But anyway, um, what first sparked the desire for you to create something of your own?
So when you were talking about survival, the first business I created was out of necessity because my children were little. I needed to have extra income, because of course you had to pay for activities, uh, and all of those things. So I I went to a party and signed up to be a consultant, and from there I had a party with you, and after that I was off and running, and literally it was out of necessity.
It was out of necessity, but as I recall, somebody's first party that they had with me made them a top salesperson because you were in your division or just under your umbrella. You had the
Under my
highest
umbrella, yeah.
grossing, you had the highest grossing first party because
Hmm.
she's talented, guys. Because she's talented. So, yeah, you. Um, Concerning that, we have a similar story because my first business was also what do you call them?
In-home party planners.
Thank you, my love. Was that as well because I could do it and work around my children's schedule.
And I miss my products that I used to get from you. I used to love those tea
Oh,
tree.
I love my products too. And I honestly, I would have kept that up because it was so much fun for me, but they closed that division.
Hmm.
It was fun. I got to meet a lot, and you too. Like we got to, I'm going to speak for you with that. We got to meet a lot of different people, um, and make a little money on the side. So that was
Yeah,
fun. So that's what sparked that one. What
yeah.
about, because you're on business four?
No, just two. You're the one with the.
No, you have at least three. You have that business, which you continued for a long time. Then you
I did.
became a womb
And then
sauna
they got rid of our division too.
right.
So
Then
I
you
have
became a
nothing.
womb sauna practitioner, which you still are.
Yes,
That's a
which,
business.
yes.
Then, so it is four. I was right. Then you
Okay.
opened up Piper's Muse, where you do
Yes.
crystals and more. That's three.
Hmm.
And you are now adding teas and herbology to Piper's Muse. That's
Yes.
four.
Okay. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Give yourself credit for what you do, my love.
I'll take it.
Um, so, what inspired you? Because you aren't working from a point of necessity anymore. What inspired you to create the other businesses? Oh, you
So
frozen. Oh,
Piper's,
there you go.
so Piper's Muse came because I was on a journey, a spiritual journey, and I had went to um, a women's retreat. Shout out to Michelle for taking me, my pure romance sister, and also friend and spiritual girl. And one of our other Pure Man sisters, Dana, started doing retreats. And I went to her retreat. But before I went, I was like, let me see what these crystals are about. Let me see, what tarot's about. Let me see what this is about. So I got my first crystals, which were rose quartz. And I think it was amethyst, which is usually most
The
beginner
beginner crystals.
friendly crystals. And so I did, and I brought them with me, and I was like, okay, let's see. And I'm telling you, they called to me like so much so, as you can see. They called to me all the time, and I loved it. And I didn't realize how much I was drawn to them. Um, and so I was like, I could start like literally reading like different messages from them and things like that. So I was able to introduce that. Uh, and that's where got that from. The other part of it was, again, being part of the spiritual community, and the things that I like to do were the things that I wanted to add. So, like sound bowl meditations, I love those. Getting readings, I love those. And like when I tapped into who I was, those were the things that popped out. And I was like, I can share that gift. And I do. Definitely when we're talking, I definitely share the things that I hear and, that come to me. Um, as people, I don't know if they know, but you see, if I'm holding my ear or something like that, it's because uh, I'm getting like ringing. And so, like, or something happens, and I might be like, and then I'd be like, what did you say? So, clear audio is definitely part of my gift. But yeah, that was the reason why. And then with the womb sauna, it was like I was already part of Pure Romance, which is at the time we focused on women's health, and the consultants really got a lot of um information. So from there, I branched off to study about being a sexologist. And so I did, and I became a sexologist. And from there, I then decided that I was gonna go to a class that Tama was, who is the director of the Woman Sauna and creator, CEO. And I went to her class and loved it. And there's a whole lot of other story to that, but like that has been like everything has been because of the love and passion for it, because it was something I needed and I wanted to share it with others.
That's cool beans.
What about you?
Okay. I was gonna skip me, to be honest with you.
No.
Um, so the first thing was a consultant. Actually, that's not true. That is not true. That was my second thing. My first, I forgot, my first entrepreneurial journey was to become a franchisee with IdentiKid. And so I did child safety IDs. I did that in Georgia. And I did IdentiKid. I don't know what you
Prior
make me
to
say. You,
prior to doing your in-home party,
oh, you're
no.
right.
I
I
was
said
like, you
Georgia,
did
didn't I?
in-home
I
party
meant
planning.
Antioch. I did do the in-home. No, wait, did
Do
I?
Antioch stuff first. You didn't move to Georgia until after.
No, no, I know that. I know when I moved, I was getting my times confused because they were real close. They were both in Antioch. Okay. No, you're right. The body shop was first.
Mm-hmm.
It was so close
Mm-hmm.
because they actually overlapped. So I got them
Mm-hmm.
confused. Okay. So I became the in-home consultant with the body shop because I went to a party
Mm-hmm.
with my husband's coworker. She had a party and we had so much fun. And I was like, let's give it a try. I could do some cash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I got my kit, I got on the team, and I literally was just doing it for the hell of it. And I had so much fun, and then I started making money. So that was great. Then during that time, I decided I wanted to actually have a real business, like that could sustain if I chose to and could really grow. Because when you're a consultant, you're under someone else.
Yeah,
So it's really someone else's. It's a multi-level. Look at me doing it's a multi-level pyramid
it
thing.
is.
Um, so you're really under them. So yes, I made good money, but if I made $100, my upline made 70 of it, 70 of it kind of once everything came down. So look at me trying to be like Olivia and put my hair to the side like Olivia. So that I wanted my own. So I bought a franchise called Identikit. And so what they did was child safety IDs. And at that time, nobody was doing it for Illinois, Indiana, or Wisconsin. So I found out after I bought in, it was a set fee. I had to fly to St. Petersburg, Florida, to meet up at the corporate headquarters. They trained me. It was cool. Like we spent a week there getting trained, learning the ins and outs and all of that. Um, then I came back and started. I found out because I did Identicare for like 4 years. I found out like in my second year that they weren't supposed to sell me 3 states. So no, I was only supposed to have one state. So I was the only franchisee with 3 states. Um, I didn't know. Of course, I didn't know. I just said I'm in Illinois and I live on the Wisconsin border. So they gave me Illinois and Wisconsin. I don't know how Indiana got in there, but I worked all 3 states.
You
Um,
did.
I, it was so much work, but I
And you
loved
were
it.
gone. Every morning we would talk. You were gone.
I was on the road. I was on the road. But because I had the body shop experience with selling myself, I wasn't afraid to talk to people. So it wasn't scary for me to make appointments and go into schools and talk to principals. And during that time, because one of my friends worked in the school system in Lake County, we were chit-chatting and kind of came up with, why don't you become a sub so you can kind of also get in real good in Lake County? So I became a sub for a little bit. Um, and with being a sub, you don't have to work if you don't feel like it, but I did a couple of jobs, so people kind of knew of my face. Then I was able to go to the school, the district, and speak.
Hmm.
Is it the district
School.
superintendent, right?
Uh-huh.
So I went to the superintendent, and he let me get in. That's how I got into all the schools in Lake County. Wisconsin was easier. The superintendent was kinder, and Indiana was pretty easy too, to be honest with you. Chicago, I had to do a little finagling. But all that to
Hmm.
say, that experience really taught me how to get out in the world and not be afraid of a no. So I would dress up, put on my business attire, make appointments, go in, sell my product. And once I got in, they literally kept calling me back. Like
Hmm.
the first year was a lot of selling. The second year, it was them just calling me back. Hey, are you going to come do the program? And like she said, I was gone all the time, but I loved it. It was mine, working long hours. I'd be up to 2, 3 a.m. producing the cards, and sometimes my girls would help me. I had set up an office in the basement. All that to say, I loved it. The only reason I stopped Identikid is because we moved. We moved to Georgia, and also I think the premise of the business is outdated now, because that was a child safety ID. I don't even know if Identikid is still around. I don't know if they changed the premise of their business to keep
Hmm.
up with technology. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't affect me anymore. So when I let it go, I let it go. But I do
Hmm.
know when I let go of my coverage, my franchise coverage, at that time, they broke it up to 3 different states.
Mm.
Nobody else was going to get 3 states for the price of one anymore, but I made very good money. Love that. After that, because I was new in Georgia, I knew no one and I enjoyed making money to do whatever I wanted to do and not having to contribute to the household, which is a blessing. I became a realtor and I consider that my own business because I had to find my own
It is.
clientele. So I did that for like 5 years. Um, and I did loved it, made very good money. But I just got sick of people. So I went from residential realty into investment and had a business with that for, I had an office space for a year with that, and then I worked from home with that like 2 years. Um, and then my partners and we kind of fell out, so that dissolved. So that's when I decided to write the book. So I wrote a book. So,
which was a passion project.
which was a passion project. I really forget certain things until we talk about it. Um, and now we've decided to do this podcast, which we really are using to hang out, to be honest with you, to hang out, rediscover our friendship, rediscover ourselves, rediscover who we are outside of being mothers and wives and children, caretakers, and all of that. And also use it to push our passion products, to push Piper's Muse, to push my book and my website, which is called The Reluctant Spiritual. So push those things.
Hey, that's my
And if
first time ever hearing it. She's never told me.
I did not discuss it with anybody because I don't believe you should discuss it till it's done. So I can discuss it now. And then if Carmen was here, she started her now second fraternal organization. She has done a balloon arch. I'm sure it's more than arches, but I don't know exactly everything she does. Balloon business. She's done all kind of different creative projects. So I really wish she would have been here because she had a lot to contribute with that, but it is what it is. So there we go. Um, okay. So sweetie, what fears, if any, did you have when you first started and why did you do it anyway?
Wow, with my very first business, my fear was getting people to book parties.
Yeah.
And like that was my biggest fear. Like nobody's gonna want to book a party with me. But I did it anyway because I had fun.
Yeah.
Um I loved talking about sex. Like that was my like if anybody knows me, I'm a Pisces. I, I love the water. You know how they talk about Pisces and being, yeah, that was me. So I love talking about it. And I loved the education. I loved that part. And I loved being able to inspire women to be sensual in the bedroom. So
Mm,
like that was my thing. Like I love it. I still love it. I really wish that they didn't really didn't hang us out to dry
yeah.
because the business is not the same. And even when I see it on social media and stuff like that, is definitely not the same.
Mm,
The consultants who kept afterwards were already like higher up, so they it's kept their business. They just get different suppliers
yeah.
to keep their business up. I just that was not what I wanted. Like I wanted to do that, but like going out and finding a reputable product, I like Pure Romance already had a name. I then had to find a different name. Like all of that was a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Um, then Piper's Muse, like I was never scared of that. That it just flows like how I feel about talking about women about sexuality. That's how I feel about talking to women, men, children about crystals and about so like all of that was a passion. So I was never scared of that. But that first business that scared me for the first. But after like the first month,
Mm,
I was getting party. You were look. I'd be like, I got another party. You want to
yeah.
come? I got another party. You want to come? I got
Yeah.
two tonight. Do you want to come? I got one
Yeah.
at 2 and
You want
one
to
at
meet up?
7.
Yeah.
Like I would be doing like 4 parties a weekend. I had one on a Friday, 2 Saturdays, one Sunday. So like it was definitely an adrenaline rush. It was nice to not be Olivia the teacher, Olivia the mom, Olivia the wife, the daughter, this like all of that. It was really good to just be Olivia and be able to do what I love
Mm,
and get paid for it. I,
right.
I understood how strippers feel when they got rained on.
No,
That's
you
how
didn't go to
I
strippers.
did. Like I truly understood like
Yeah.
how that felt. Because they
Yeah.
love what they do. They love to dance.
Some, but yeah.
Well, yeah, some, but the ones who love to dance didn't
Right.
mind.
Right. Okay.
What
Uh,
about you?
what fears? With the body shop, no real fears. It came very
Hmm.
easily. And my product was easier to say, this is what I do because it's body shop. So it's just
Yeah,
skincare.
and I
And
love my
people,
stuff.
especially in Lake County, people are really worried about image.
Yes.
So, oh, I don't want to have a sex party. Girl, get over
Yeah.
yourself. You guys do more dirt anyway. So basically, mine was really easy. And to be honest with you, unlike Olivia, I didn't use social media at all. Mine was all word of mouth. So like when my girls had activities, I gave a card. Hey, this is what I do. And they always had it was about this size. So what is this about 2 ounces? Little samples that I would always keep on me, and I would hand out my samples with my name and stuff attached. So I got a lot of calls from that. Um, I hit up my couple of friends, which would be Olivia, Carmen. At that time, one of our sorors, Nikki, and I would tell them, hey, oh, Erica, one of our real close friends, hey, can I come to your house and throw a party? You don't have to do anything. That's really how I really got my foot in the door. All you have to do is provide a guest list and a place. I will bring food, I will bring entertainment. And when people find out I don't have to do anything, I said no. And if I make money from your party, you get free products. Like I didn't even ask you to cook. I showed up an hour and a half before the party, um, put things in the oven, made sure everything was fresh, and I set it out. I did the parties, and people would always have fun. Then from those parties, I started getting referrals.
Hmm.
So the people who didn't even have to do any work for the first party were getting monthly residuals as far as they could either get cash or products. Generally, they wanted the products because it was more valuable than the cash, which worked for
100%.
me because I had an abundance of products, so it cost me no money. So that part was easy. But the identikit, at first, I was a little nervous. Um, because of the nature of my husband's job at the time, he worked from home a lot. So my nervousness was not getting into the school. My nervousness was I'm a little woman by myself and I got to go and sit in these buildings, to do the program. So I was scared to be by myself, and I'm driving out an hour, 2 hours from home. So maybe it was about 6 months. If he could, he would come with me. To the point, some of my people who talked ill about me in my community thought it was his business. I didn't give a poop whose business it was. I got the money, so it didn't matter to me. But so he was able to come with me for the beginning. But once I was in all of the schools enough, I felt safe to go and the daycares and all of that to go in by myself. And so that was my only fear. It was more safety than talking to people because, especially in certain parts of heck, all of them, certain parts of Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. I'm a little black woman carrying all this equipment by myself. That's not necessarily safe. So, the other things for real estate, I should have felt a more fear than I did. I would put myself in situations now that I think back might not have been the best. Um, when I would first meet clients, I always met them in my office. I worked with Berkshire Hathaway, so we had a beautiful office. So I would meet them in my office, get their what is that license? I would make copies of that so someone knew where I was and leave it with the receptionist. We had an
Hmm.
admin at that time, and I would leave the stuff with her. But there were times, I literally worked 7 days a week when I did real estate. Literally, I was showing almost every day. If I wasn't showing,
Yep.
I was closing or
Yep.
or I was scouting. So I worked 7 days a week. So it would be times I'm out in the field by myself, and depending on the clientele, the house might be in the middle of nowhere. I had a property that was 8 acres out literally in Confederate land. Um, you know, I guess I was spiritually protected because I was sure out there by myself putting that sign up, walking the property and taking pictures. So some of the things I did didn't make sense. But I'm still here. Um, and the investment side, I was never by myself after that, because I had a partner. So my partner would come with me. So that was safer. So that was, and why did I do it anyway? I liked having my own. It was fun. I got to be creative.
Hmm.
Like,
I
and I saw,
watched her in the car jump out to throw a sign on the side of the street, and she'd
yes.
be like, "Pull it over!" Jump out. I'd be like, "Okay,
Put some signs
make
in my
sure no
trunk.
car hits her. Let's get back in."
You know what, Olivia? And this was a while ago. Like my mom has just had knee surgery. I think I've mentioned it prior. She's just had a knee replacement. But back then, she still had bad leg, and she would like I would pull over when she would come visit me, and she was like, "I'll get it," and she would hop out and be limping and put my side like we're on the side of a busy road. So that goes to the next question about do you feel supported? I wanted to say when I was doing it, nobody supports me. I'm by myself. I have so much support. Olivia put signs out for me. My mama put signs out for me. My girls would put signs out for me. Hell, my husband for all the businesses. If I needed someone to come with me, he came. So I was highly supported. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was very supported. So were you supported in
I
your
was supported.
endeavors? Okay.
I was supported. Um, the beginning of my spiritual uh businesses part of it, people didn't understand. Um, but now everyone's like, yeah, she sells crystals or she makes bracelets. She does readings, things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would never say I wasn't supported.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Olivia supported me, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be personal. So, when I first started with the body shop, this was before Olivia started Piper's Muse, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
shoot, what is it called, my love? The sex one,
Purpose, pure romance.
Pure Romance.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I first started, I don't know if my friend had been bitten badly by people doing in-home consulting. She told me, and I quote, "I will help you, but I ain't throwing no party." And I said, "Okay." And she
But
did.
I had people come
No, no,
to your
no, no.
houses.
I'm not.
Oh,
This
oh,
is
okay,
not a negative. Let me finish.
okay.
I got your back, baby. She didn't. However, whenever I went, she came. Whenever I had people in this area, she invited people. So Olivia was one of my biggest supporters. So you over here about to say something. I got your back. I wasn't gonna put you in the negative. Anyhow, what are some of the highest highs you've experienced as a creative or business owner?
Oh, when I had a team and we were having our own meetings, that was the best. Like it wasn't the making the money, it was when we were having our own meetings and like literally I was renting rooms for us to have our meeting. We had Christmas parties like and they were growing their own teams and it was so much fun. Even like when we were doing Zoom meetings because
Mm,
I had women in Indiana, I had women in Wisconsin, I had women in Illinois. Like it was that part of it for Pure Romance was like the best. Yeah, it was great getting the oh, you made President's Club and all of those things, but like seeing other women like really grow in the business,
mm.
it was great. Um, but that first time girl, that I had a big party.
Oh, yeah,
It's like it's like give me more. What's
yeah.
going on? Um, my other businesses, I really think, um, because they come from my heart. Like the best part of it is being able to have a business where people are like, "Oh my God, like I feel the difference when I wear your crystals," or "Oh my God, I need another reading," and all of those different things. Or they say, "Girl, everything you said was true." Like everything. Like so, those are the things that I like on that part.
Well, highest high for me was the big paycheck. So my biggest paycheck, because I always enjoyed everything I did. Um, Identikid was so fun because once it got going and I was doing two, three, sometimes four schools a week, I got paid in cash. So it was my business. So when the parents would pay for their children's IDs, which honestly shocked me, it amazed me. I would have more 90+% every school I went to a participation.
Of
Shocked
course,
the heck out of me. I was like, wow.
I was a consumer. I
Yeah,
want all the identification for my kids,
but
all of it,
it
and I
shocked
have every
me.
single one for every year still.
It just shocked me. So when I went into the schools, I was always so well received, and they had a space ready for me. And the children came, and I got paid in either cash or at that time I accepted checks because I had a checking account. You know, when you could use the business's name, so I had a checking account. So I literally was making thousands a week, and I was like, "What? Oh, this was definitely worth it." Like I made my investment back within 7 months, and the
Mm,
rest was just profit. And that felt so good because I did it on my own.
yeah.
So that was such a high. Um, I was very sad when I had to leave it. Again, the time was over, and the platform was being outpaced anyway by technology. So it was time to let it go. And it's funny. That first year I was in Georgia, I had principals still calling me. And I was like, oh no, I told you guys we had to close down. You have to go to corporate and see if someone else is in the area because I had to move. So that made me feel good. That made me feel really good about the integrity of my business and me as a person. Um, Real estate wise, excuse me, body shop wise, I never made that much money. If I made $500 in a month, that was like, woo. But that money was gone because I paid for activities for my girls. So I never saw that money. Um, I did enjoy with Body Shop the conferences. Getting together with all of the other consultants was so fun. They would make it really fun for you. Real estate is great money. But again, that's the only time in my life I worked 7 days a week outside my home. And it was a lot. And I don't think the money was worth what I was doing at that time. So that's when I went into, before investing, I did new homes. New homes was fun because I sat in one place. The people came to me. Actually, I was still doing outside clients too. I wasn't supposed to. But so I was kind of getting paid on both ends, but whatever. But the majority of the clients came to me, and that was my first time selling plural, millions of dollars of properties within a year. So the checks were lovely. Life was nice. Um, but that time was over. So that was my high. My first high was my integrity. My second high was woo, money. I like money. Money likes me. I'm happy here. So that was what my highest high was. Okay. Oh, so what were some of your lowest moments that made you question continuing?
Hmm. Well, with pure romance, it was the cattiness behind the scenes with certain women because most of these, well, our business was all focused women, so there were no men in it. But uh, people were all trying to get to the top, and
Yeah.
um, it was pretty much turned into some, for some people, dog eat dog worlds. So that was like, and then for my spiritual business was when I planned my retreat, and after the retreat, it was very it was hard because there was three of us women who all had our own gifts that we came together, and the two of us just saw other things that were happening, and that like shook my confidence afterwards. Like there was some things that happened spiritually and physically and verbally that happened that I was like, I'm out the game. I will always stick with myself. I will not do retreats. Um, but I know that's not right. I know in the end, even though I fight it so much, I'm an educator. It might not just be of physical little children, but I'm an educator. That's why I liked Pure Romance because we empower, educate, and entertain women. I like the Womasana because we focus on empowering women and educating them on their spirituality versus and their womb and things like that. So like all of that, I'm an educator at heart, so I want to educate. So I think getting my confidence knocked down because of someone's goal of trying to get higher than me or think they're higher than me or want to push me down was the worst.
Mm, so
What
lowest,
about you?
lowest moment. Uh, it wasn't a low moment. People made fun of me for being an in-home consultant, but I was like, I don't care. I'm making money. But as far as in real estate, because I didn't kid, again, I had some negative comments from people, but that was because they were people who were afraid to step out on their own and try something. So those people didn't bother me. I didn't care. They could talk about me all they want. Um, but real estate, which is exactly what stopped me from doing clientele that didn't have a certain amount of money, was dealing with people with no money who wanted everything, and then them not
Mm,
understanding you can't afford everything. So you might want
mm-mm,
to get in where you fit in, live there for a couple of years, and either sell or build as you're in the house. Get a basic house and pretty it up later. And at that time, I was dealing with, again, I had no, and people who have businesses know about your circle of influence. I had
mm-hmm,
no circle of influence because I was new to Georgia. I had no family there, I had no friends there. Um, so I did a lot of the lower people at first. And I didn't mind it, but I don't care if you had 150,000. I never did below 150 anyway, because that the check wasn't worth it. Um, if you had 150,000 or you had 1.5 million, we'll just go in that range. I treated you the same way. You got the same level of work from me, the same integrity. That's very hard when you're dealing with someone who is going to tell you, well, my mom said, is your mom a realtor? No. When did your mother buy her house? 10 years ago? Yeah, her house was $80,000 10 years ago. And it's probably beautiful. You don't have any money. And unless your mom is going to give you some money, it's really nothing you can do. So a lot of people, well, only two people with me learned that I could fire them. They didn't think I could fire them because, one young man told me, well, you work for me. And I said, actually, I don't. I'm an independent contractor. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm a realtor. There's a difference. Look up the meanings. And I fired him. I was like, we don't work together anymore. We can tear up our contract because I can step out of it. You were held to 6 months. It's my business. So that was a low point for me, but that also was a teaching point for me that to understand my value and my worth. And if you don't
mm,
value me, I will move on. I also learned that I can't do rentals because rental properties is just like selling someone a new home. but you only get, as an agent, you only get the first month's rent as your payment. And if
Mm,
you're working with one of those big rental companies that has all of the conglomerate of houses, sorry, um, you don't even get that first full month of rent. You might only get $400 to $500. And then they don't want
mm,
to pay you. I did not have time to chase somebody for $500. Like, I'm already working 7 days a week. I can't chase you for this $500. I did like three rentals and I said, no, I'm not. I don't do that anymore. So that was a low point because I felt that I wasted my time.
hmm.
My clients were happy because they got what they needed. I didn't get the money. So I literally, I had people calling me for rentals, and I said, no, I can refer you to someone else, and you won't even have to pay me a referral fee because generally referral fee is 25% of the realtor's check.
Mm.
Said no referral fee. I don't do rentals, but I have colleagues that do. So that was my low point. Was pretty much working for free. I don't do anything for free anymore. I have given away too
Girl,
much for free.
girl.
No, you will pay me money, time, loyalty. You will pay me something. No more free. No more free.
I agree with that. I agree with that. My knowledge
Yes.
comes with the price.
Yes. And family and friends. Oh my God. Like, you hire a realtor, but you want to call me and ask me questions and then get upset with me when I say, well, who you paying? Call the person you paying. Well, I just want to make sure they're telling me the truth. Then you should have called me.
From the beginning.
I'm not, I can't give you all my information for free. Like, no, no,
I agree.
no,
I
nope.
agree.
So there we go. I think we answered the second question. So here we go. The other question. What does consistency really look like for you behind the scenes?
Ooh, a lot of work. So when I was doing pure romance, um, I was sending out flyers. Back then we had booklets. So I would be sending out booklets. I would be sending out cards. I would be sending out samples. I'd be sending out my specials for the month's parties, and what you could get from that. Phone calls, cold calling. You know about
Oh my God,
cold
yes.
calling. Um, uh, like then filling orders, deliveries, shipping. If you were in a 30-mile radius, I would do drop-offs. Like it was a lot. I think I worked my business at least, so I went to work every day and I worked every day during that week of my business at least 3 hours. And
Mhm.
don't let there be a monthly meeting I had to go to or a event I had to go to. Plus then still party on the weekends. Um, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I worked a
Yeah,
lot. Um, yeah. I would probably say in that business, I put in at least a good 20 to 35 hours a week.
that's a
And that
lot.
wasn't party part. That was just working the business.
And I can also jump in with your consistency. You even bought a vehicle special for your business.
I did. I actually had a Pure Romance van. I didn't get to the point where I wrapped it, but like literally pulling, finding it took me hours, pulling out the seats, redoing it, uh, covering the windows, decorating it, getting the shelving to put inside of it, getting the benches that actually opened up with storage, but benches for people to sit. Like it was a lot. Getting my signage to put on it, like a lot.
It's a lot.
A lot.
That's why I brought it up because I'm like, she's forget. That's why I was saying before we did this call and the two of us were chatting. It's so
Hmm.
much that we did in survival. You didn't even think about it. But when you sit down, you're like, I did all that. And I did it while parenting two kids and doing
Yeah,
activities
yeah,
and meetings and being a
yeah,
wife. And when
Yeah.
my mom called, I had to help my mom.
Mm.
Like survival mode. I tell you, that's why I don't look the same. I know I looked older. I looked at my pictures. I looked way older than I do now. I was tired. But was it worth it? It was. Um, I'm gonna just say ditto for what Olivia did. Um, same thing, like they say, same Negro, different rice. You ever heard that term? Because every culture eats rice, so it's like same. Okay,
Hmm.
got that. My mom would say that. Anyway, same thing, but just different purpose. You know,
Hmm.
consistency all the time. Always, on the phone, drop the girls off. I'm on the phone. Thank God for hands free, so I could drive on the
Yes.
phone and make these phone calls while I'm on my way driving 2 hours to Indiana, or on my way back from Indiana, calling about this, and then with real estate, constantly on the phone and
Yeah.
doing the websites, and I even did meetups. So I would do when I did the investment side on Eventbrite, which had anyone who needs to have people come for meetings. I can only speak of, I stopped doing that part right before COVID. But back then it worked for me. It cost me no
It
money.
did.
So I would set up my meetings on Eventbrite. I never lied about what it was. I said, this is about investing. I'm not going to give you all my wording because I think I can still use that wording today. Um, and I would have 20 plus people every week. Olivia got to see it because she came to a meeting a couple of times on Eventbrite. And I got a lot of people interested that way. And again, it cost me no money. Um, So, yeah, it was a lot of work. I forgot so much. Yeah, we worked my life.
And I will say this, this is in lieu of us raising our children, also being in sorority,
Yeah,
also being into another service organization. And this also, we were active members in both of those things.
yeah,
Plus, we worked at our kids' schools
yeah. Because I didn't pay tuition.
because
I did after school care.
we did after school care at both of our schools so that our children could go. Like, we did a lot.
Forgot all that. Yeah,
Plus, I
survival
did
mode.
summer school in the summer.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I didn't have that thing to do. That cross was not mine to bear. Was the summer school, but all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how we made it. I think that's why I'm so selfish with my time now. And I'm like, no, but I got my class. I have my thing. I have my because I gave for so long. Okay. Um, so that's what consistency looks like.
Hmm.
We know how we stay committed when motivation fades. At that point, I had no choice. How do you balance passion with the business side, money, structure, and responsibility? You had no choice. Okay. How has being a creative forced you to grow personally?
Well, like you said, I had to step out of my box. Like as an educator, you're always selling yourself to kids, to
Oh,
parents, to admin. Like you're constantly doing that. But like when I would go in front of people who were not in the school, I
mm,
was scared as death. Like I didn't. Jolanda will tell you, I don't talk to people.
no,
I will not put myself out there to meet nobody new. But yeah. I love my friend. Don't go there.
you won't.
But yes, I definitely I am not a naturally I'm not a people person unless
Right.
I know you. Unless I know you. If I don't know you or have never seen you around or like I force myself to
Mm,
be, hey, how are you? What's going on? Have you ever been here before? Like, but if we're I can go to dinner by myself and eat dinner by myself and not talk to anybody but the waiter
me too.
and be content.
Yeah,
I can go to the movies by myself and be content.
yeah.
I yeah, no. That was like the yeah. I don't even remember what the question was because
What has
What's the
been a
question again?
creative force you to, how has been a creative force you to grow personally? It forced you to be more confident.
Yes, definitely more confident. Definitely knowing that I'm what I have is worth,
Mm,
has value. Because a lot of the things that I know here has value. I
hmm
know a lot of people. I've had people take what I have here and sell it on their own.
hmm I know for a fact that someone took your idea for the van. Nobody in this area was doing the van until you did it because Olivia is more of a social media person than I. So she
But
did,
I wasn't a lot there. But yes, I
but
was.
still more than
Yeah,
me. I
yeah.
didn't do anything on social media at all. You notice I never put until real estate.
Hmm.
I never put anything on social media. Um, and she did the van because someone else had done it somewhere else, and she thought that was such a great idea. Nobody in this area never saw it. And then you put it that you were building your van, and the next thing
Hmm.
I know, everywhere, these young ladies popping up with these vans. So they definitely stole. I mean, it wasn't yours to own, but they didn't even have the idea to do it. So,
I mean, I've seen, and that was one of the things I was like, oh, I see people put like pure romance in their window, but I was like, I can't be driving with my kids in the car saying pure
right,
romance. Like,
right.
even though my kids knew, my kids even told their teachers, my mom does this, my mom, but like, I always thought, oh, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
So I would get a van. So like that was like my main goal, like year 5 when I was working, because I worked the business from 2011 until
Mm, mm,
2018, 19, 20. So until 2020.
mm.
So I worked the business for 9 years.
You did a lot with that business. And I was
9
so proud
years.
that my friend had a team and because I knew because I had been in that type of environment, I knew what it took to build a team and maintain a team. And you
And
had to,
making sure they got the information,
yeah.
making sure we had education, getting books, reading. Like one thing I will say is one of our sorors, Erica, she ended up after I left, like being like an actual face of the business for a little while until they got rid of like so like she was moving up and I thought that was cool, but she also um didn't have the same type of uh like fear I had. She was way more outgoing. She
Mhm.
had all that for her. So I could see that. But like even just seeing her grow with that and taking that, um, yeah, I definitely learned a lot. I also learned a lot about, like I said, uh, value of not just of myself, but value of other people. And like, are they truly here for the education, or are they here for whatever other stuff they were
Shock
doing?
value.
Yes. When we talk about NPCs, like some people were just NPCs at the group in the group.
Yeah.
Like I did all this,
Mm,
and all you did was come to eat your friend's food and not support at all. Like I had a couple of parties like that where this hostess went all out, theme, everything. And since I had the van, I was fully stocked. So whatever you needed, you went home with that night,
mm,
which that's unheard of, going
yeah.
to an in-home party and going home with stuff. Because
Mhm.
even with like Sensi, all those other companies,
Have to order it.
you had to order it and you had to wait for it to come. And you had to pay shipping and all that stuff. So yeah, people had to pay shipping, but I didn't charge them as much shipping because I already had it. But I
Mm,
paid shipping to get it here
yeah.
for you to have it now. So, like, understanding that those people just came to eat and laugh and giggle or try to win free stuff. Like, there was one person who went to everybody's party, bought nothing, always tried to make deals and stuff like that. That's also what I learned.
Yeah, people try to get something for nothing.
People are always trying to get something for nothing.
Yep.
And this person would go to all these parties, eat up the people's food, drink their alcohol. They were a regular in one of the circles that I was in
Oh,
and never bought a thing, but always wanted to win something. Oh, you don't have any samples today? You don't have anything free for us to win? No. That's when I got uh bus boobs or bust and bottoms, where I would do the raffle tickets and you would have to pay for your raffle tickets, and it was
oh,
across your bus. You get the length of your bus or your butt, whatever one was bigger, but you paid a fee to win. Because I was like, no, I'm not giving out anything else for free. I'm making money on whatever free item I'm giving out.
right.
So yeah, that was another thing. The, and that lesson was hard
It's
because I
hard
wanted to
because
give stuff.
I like giving things too, and I still give a lot. But a lot of times, especially in those type of circles, you're communing with people who are friends and family, or family and friends of friends and family.
Hmm.
And so you want to give, but they also want to use you. That'll be the
Hmm.
same person who will go into a department store and spend $300 on something that's worthless, but they want to Jew you down off of 50. No, this is the price. Do you have a friends and family sale? No. Now, this is a corporation. I just brought it to your home. You didn't have to get in your car, go to the mall, go walk in Bath and Body Shop and deal with that. I brought it to your home. You can get anything in the store. And you got a free, not necessarily a whole pedicure because I ain't painting nails and stuff, but it was a lot of stuff. You got
Yep.
hand and foot soap, like the entire thing outside of getting your cuticles pushed back and your nails
Yep.
clipped. So, and that's all me working. And you got food. And if the person wanted to, you got drinks. Because I
Hmm.
never supplied liquor. When I would supply food, you want liquor, that's on you because that was too much money for me. So, no, you get nothing else. You got a good time, go home then. You don't want to buy, don't buy. But I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah.
And see, I was always the person when I went to anyone's in-home party, I came with at least $50 and I bought something. I
I
don't
always
care
bought one thing, no matter what.
what it was. It might have even been something I really didn't want, but I bought something because I knew the preparation that that person had to go into, and I also knew what it felt like being a consultant. So
Hmm.
you're gonna get a couple dollars if I'm there, period.
Hmm.
So, um,
Hmm.
how do you protect your energy? I didn't protect my energy. I don't think you did either at that time. So we will move on. 'Cause I didn't know to protect it. What do you do when the fire isn't there anymore?
Hmm. I stepped away,
Yeah, me too.
stepped away, and like with pure romance, I stepped away, and when I was ready to come back, I did, and I did some things, and then I realized that it really wasn't there, and I
Mm,
completely walked away.
yeah, I stepped away too. The fire is my love for it. And I realized that through pushing myself, the quality of my service shifted. And I think what made me an excellent salesperson in all realms, because I realized all I ever did was sell to people, because I was always honest and I never
Hmm.
pushed for money. Like I told you, you buy, you don't, you don't. I didn't care. However, when it got to the point where you annoyed me just to be in your presence, and I was like, I don't even care if you buy, you getting on my nerves. I said, oof, I don't need to do this anymore. I'm
Hmm.
turning cold to people.
Hmm.
Um, so when the quality of my service and I could feel it, I was like, no, I don't love this anymore. And especially when you're blessed to be able to say, I can walk away and I can still eat. I made my plans and I walked away, you know? So I agree with you. You just don't do it anymore. So that goes, the next question was, how do you know when you need rest versus when you need discipline? Um, for me, I needed rest, but I didn't take it. And I always had the discipline. So I just walked away. Did you ever have to choose rest or discipline?
I think after that retreat, I chose rest.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that was it. Otherwise, discipline. mm, Yeah, I think I had discipline. I think it just, there's ebbs and flows of things. I think there's time for certain things, time that you need to step back, time that you need to be wholehearted. Like there's a lot of that. Just because what I do now is from the heart, I have to go with my spirit. Like just
Hmm.
like you. Like you have to go with your spirit. Like when we've talked before, like about your book and like talking about the other things you're doing, but like some days you're like, oh, I'm high flying, and other days you're like, yeah, today wasn't a good day. Like because of what we do, when we're having bad days, we can't. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I can't touch it. I
Yeah.
can't touch something that I'm not into because then I'm putting that energy on that, and then I'm not gonna want it at all.
Yeah.
So
Hold on a second. All right. I had to do a little health check. So, um, uh-oh. Okay. Has your definition of success changed since you started?
excuse me. Um, yeah, my definition of success back then was bringing home that cash. Like
Mm,
it was always about bringing home that cash. Like
mhm.
I come home, I if I have a party Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I need to at least make $2,000 profit. Not
Yes.
that I have to pay back to Pure
Right.
Romance to get to
Or order
replenish my
stuff.
stock, but pure profit. Um, now, um, it's really about the energy I provide, um, how people feel. Do they feel the change, the shift? Um, and do I provide a safe place for them
Mhm.
based on what I do?
Well, excuse me. My ideal of success kind of hasn't changed. It's not it my ideal of success was never tied to the financial outcome. I just want to always provide good service. And I
Hmm.
was like, definitely believe the nomiker, if you do what you love, the money will come.
Yes.
And I loved what I did in all of the iterations of me. And the money came. So I don't think it has changed. But I do know that all money isn't good money. So
Mm.
I had one client in particular, I will never forget his name, but I won't mention it. Um, the money I got after working with him was not worth the pain I went through. And that was a very big lesson for me. Very big lesson. And that really made me decide I don't care how much money it is. Um, if you're messing with my integrity and because I had a set of rules that I gave all clients. I learned that from my mentor, and
Hmm.
she's one of the top agents in Atlanta, actually. And she said that, Jolonda, you real nice. And I love that you're nice. You're so sweet, but you give too much. You need to do a set of rules. And when they sign their contract to work with you, give them the rules. And so I started implementing that. He was the only client that really pushed back against my rules. Sometimes men think they're smarter than women, and they take our kindness as weakness and as stupidity. And what it was is I didn't really care so much for him. I cared for his daughter. He had a very beautiful, intelligent daughter, and I wanted to make sure she had what she needed. So I gave too much. And Yeah, that taught me, girl, you could have kept his money. That man, he got on my nerves. Anywho, so don't ever give up your integrity for the dollar because it's not worth it. Um, I had a question of what practices help you reconnect with your purpose, but I think we've discussed that several times on this platform, so I skipped it. Well, you had a question because you wrote it. Uh, uh, no, we did that. Oh, we just talked about that. Okay. What is something about entrepreneur? What is something about entrepreneurship? Did I say it right?
Hmm.
Or creativity that people don't talk about enough?
That is a full-time job.
Yes.
It's a full-time job. I don't care what you say. It is not part-time, it is full-time. And if you don't treat it like a full-time job or even like remotely close to that, you're
Yeah.
not gonna make it. You're not. Like you can't just have asset at all. Like if you do, it will affect what you're doing. It will, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's a lot of choices. And at least for me, my businesses were my babies because they represented me.
Hmm.
So when I got messed over, it was like it truly was messing me over because I gave you honesty and I approached you open. Like it was one incident, one of the organizations that Olivia and I share in common is Top Ladies. So Top Ladies had a conference and I double booked on accident. So we had Top Ladies Conference like in Downers Grove or something. And at that time I was doing teens, so I couldn't leave the conference. But I had double booked an Identikit event with the school district uh, where you have your booth and you have the parents come in.
Hmm.
So I had booked because it was a little costly. Um, I shared my booth with two other ladies. So I literally, which I don't even know if they handed out my materials like I asked them to, but I had already paid for the booth. So the night before the Top Ladies Conference, I had to get all of my stuff together, drive it to this lady's house, give her everything, and just go by faith that she was going to put my stuff out. Whether she did or not, I don't know. But I couldn't not be with the teens because that was my volunteer organization. However, I had made a commitment to work with them, whereas I had also made a commitment for my personal business. And it was like weighing, like I literally broke down crying because my husband called me to ask me how did the Identikit event go, and I was like, well, I couldn't go. And he was like yelling at me, well, we paid for that, and I was like, well, actually, I paid for it. That was my money from my business. Um, I know that might seem personal, but sometimes people don't understand when you make certain choices because I can't be in two places at one time. Like I did the best I could. I got everything together. I took it to the lady's house. I asked her to put it out. If she did it or not, I don't know, but I could not be at the Top Teens event because if I missed the information given at regional by the director, then my teens are going to suffer.
Hmm.
Whereas if I miss this event, yes, my business might suffer, but that's just me
Hmm.
versus these other children whose parents put
To be your
entrusted
chair.
them to me.
Yep.
So little things like that, it's give and take. And a lot of times, you've seen women say, if I had a wife, I could be more successful. And I was telling him later on, we had a discussion about it. So, first off, don't you ever do that and have me emotionally compromised in public. But secondly, you don't understand because you don't have to make those decisions. When you
Right.
have crap to do for your job, you
You
just
do
go
it.
do it because the kid's taken care of, the household's taken care of because I do it. I'm your fall guy. You
Yeah.
never have to make a decision and say, well, I got to let this go because I got this for work. Never. When stuff comes up for work, you just go. When you were in your fraternal organization and you was doing stuff, you just did it. When you wanted to help out in church at that time that we were part of, he did a lot of helping out. You just went and did it. I was the one that had to juggle. So, yeah, you apologize, but don't do that again,
Yeah.
you know? And a lot of people don't see that behind the business, especially when you have
For
so
women.
many balls to juggle. So many balls to juggle, you know?
I would also say that is the demise of a lot of women who are in business when they do have children
Mhm.
or a spouse or both. Uh, it's how to be, how can I be a great businesswoman and still take care of my family?
Right.
That's the biggest compromise that you can ever make because, like you said, women will understand women. We will figure it out. Like I'd be like, Jay, do you want me to take the kids?
Mhm.
I've offered several times. I'll take the girls. Go do it. Go, do what you got to do. I will take the girls for you. Have no problem with it. But not saying men won't do it. They, it's not something that they would offer
It's not something in their nature.
because yeah, they
It's not
won't offer because it's not in their nature.
in their nature. Um, yeah, and that was my thing. I'm like, yeah, you got the girls this weekend, thanks. But if it was that important to you, you could have packed them up like I've had to pack them up to go to conferences
And
before.
go do it for me.
You pack them a lunch, you get them something to do, and you go sit at that booth. You could have done
Yeah,
that for me.
yeah.
Done it. I've had my kids. They've come to school
Oh,
with me because they went to private school. And if I had to do a public school that was in school and private school was out, they came with me and they sat and they entertained themselves while I was working. So, you know, don't yell at me. Anywho, um, I think we answered how did we measure impact outside of money or recognition?
hmm.
Integrity. Okay. Oh, what would you tell a woman who feels called to start something but is afraid?
To do it,
Yeah, just do it.
to do it because my dad told me this before he passed away. He said, there are so many millionaires and billionaires in the graveyard,
Yes.
so many ideas that have died with these people that were never accomplished because they were too afraid to do it. They were too worried about Billy and Susie and Shaniqua and James to do something and they didn't do it and they could have changed the world with their idea.
I agree, and that's enough said on that one. So, when the noise fades and the pressure is gone, why do you still choose to create?
I love it.
It gives me, I feel like I have purpose. Like,
Hmm.
I'll even go, everything I've done was always selling. My real first passion project was writing a book.
Hmm.
I can totally say I don't care if only the people in my circle ever saw the book. It was something I wanted to do, and I accomplished it. It made me feel great. And it was proof, like you said earlier, that my knowledge is valuable. I was able to condense it and put it out there.
Yep.
However, it's received, that doesn't matter to me. I did it. I had an idea and I didn't let anything stop me. So, yeah, it brings me joy to
Hmm.
create.
100%.
I think that's even why I like decorating. Like if I had unlimited funds, you could live with me because every week it'd be a different room. Like, ah, dang it, didn't you just get a couch? Yeah, I don't like it no more. I want this room purple now. Nope, now I want it orange. Like, I like to. to build and see things come to fruition. It just makes me so happy. So, all righty. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I don't. Do you?
No, I think we said a lot. I think we said a
Yeah.
lot. Well, as Carmen would say, my lovelies. Has she ever said that on here? My lovelies? Well, she gonna say it now. Um, that is the conclusion of another episode of Beyond the First Chapter. I really hoped that this gave our viewers and some passersby some insight into who we are as people and courage to not be afraid to speak your truth and live your truth, regardless of the noise from the outside world, because it doesn't matter. You
Doesn't.
are not as important as we all think we are. So no one cares about us when they walk out the room, pretty much. So just do what you want to do. Be happy. Try it. If it fails, it's not a failure, it's just a lesson. Do it different next time, you know? And that's that. So thank you again, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.